let's just do a little trade recap I had for today. I was bearish bias, but I always make plans for almost any situation. So as soon as the market comes into it, I have a plan for it. So I said, in my opinion, any long trades is low quality. This being said, all long trades for me will be very shortly scalped. I said if we hold past 41.80, I'll be looking for 4,200 to trade, but I want to see how price reacts to 41.9125. And I'll go over where I get all these levels from. If we can pass this with great buying pressure, 4,200 should trade, and then even 42.15. And then I made a bunch of other plays for where we get down to in the market, but those never happened. I said I was interested in longs if we can hold to the 41.90 area, and then about 24 minutes later, I was out at 41.91, I believe, and then I had one more contract all the way to, and then I held one more contract to 41.97 with my stop loss to 41.84. Now we get into it here. My first number why I picked 41.80 is I remember there was a lot of orders at these levels. So we have this consolidation zone right here. The middle of the consolidation zone, a little bit on the upper end, is 41.80, of course. And then my confluence for those two was the top right here. Top of these peaks were 41.7975, and then this one was just over at 41.875. Obviously, 41.80 is a big psychological number, so that's where I picked my zone to be on there. And then 41.91 was the top of this peak, so 41.925 was this peak right here. I was looking to grab liquidity from here, seeing what buyers and sellers would do with it if we're going to go up and then rally down, which did happening to 41.9725 because of supply right here. So it was a double confluence to go down. We grabbed liquidity from this one and also into supply. But if we look at the 1 minute chart, we passed, we came down right here, and we immediately reclaimed it within a couple minutes. Great buying pressure along the board. No sellers at all on the tape until one seller here, and then we immediately just pushed even harder. As sellers came along the tape, we still held levels, so there was passive buyers eating this up right here. Now, after this level right here, I know everyone is expecting for the market to go like this since we made these lows. We were expecting to make a higher high and then maybe a higher low. This is what everyone was thinking was going to happen. So as soon as we break this, we came down to here. I knew we were going to trade in this area right here above 41.80 and see if we have acceptance of this level. So I got in immediately. I got in at 41.82, which was a little too early for me, unfortunately. But the trade still ended up good. I was risking less than 3 points. My risk to reward on the last contract was a 667, and then on the basing of my contracts they were about a 411. So it was a very good trade in my opinion. Great risk to reward. We came down a little bit. We tested 41.850. We held obviously. And I knew once we got into this little wedge right here, this was going to be the make or break. I wasn't sure if we were going to have a little liquidity sweep again to come under, but I didn't move my stop loss down because I could always re-enter the trade. But we broke to the upside, and as soon as we broke to the upside, you can see obvious good buying pressure. Boom, we hit my first order, 419125. Usually when there's good buying pressure and you're looking for a big psychological zone, we'll pass it with great pressure. Big buying coming along the tape and just eating up the orders. And I never really do a hard stop like that. I always join the ask. So I ended up getting a nice fill up here. We came down a little bit more. As soon as I let my contracts out, my stop either gets moved to break even or up more. So at 239, once I took my profits off the table, I moved my stop up to 4184. So 239 is right here, literally right after. My stop loss got moved to here. So I would still be in profit by 2 points. My stop loss would have been 2-point profit. So now that my stop is here, the trade is obviously risk-free. And then I said I was looking to take off my runner at 4197 just because that's in supply again. Like I said, once we hit a usual zone, we'll usually peek it through. You can see the buying pressure coming in with this candle to peek into supply. And then I cut my runner right there, which was almost dead perfect. So the entry was almost dead perfect. Exit dead perfect again. I got 9 points out of 80% of my contracts. And then I believe I got 15 points on my runner, which is absolutely awesome for me. So on the runner, I got 15 points, and I was risking 2.25 points, and my runner was 15 points. So Like I said, absolutely amazing trade. If we didn't hold 4180, I would have obviously got stopped out, but we did, because the only real reason to get stopped out in any move like this would be you were trying to get a breakout over here and you got stuffed from here to here with a small stop loss, or the same thing over here, which usually happens to me because my stop loss is always small. So if you were to go for a breakout like this, you would have to see big buying volume coming in. Take this trade right here. As you can see, resistance, which is this area here, now becomes support. We had this weird wicking candle that was crazy volume, as you could see, at 3 o'clock. Still held perfectly. Again, resistance becomes support. It was resistance. We passed above it. This area is now support. This wedge tried being support, but it was also after hours, so it was a little weird. So if you're not in the premium, you're actually pretty lucky right here, because now you're seeing all my zones that only the premium people have access to. So I will be looking for a play like this tomorrow. Obviously, it probably won't be that clean. I mean, we'll probably have something more like this. But this is the main play I'll be looking for tomorrow. Obviously, it's 1:40 in the morning, so we have a lot more time to base or make new structure. But this is the main play I'm hoping will pan out. We'll come back into this demand and we'll shoot up past this liquidity and this supply to then come into this little gap fill, either fill it, wick here, and then come down, or pass and get to this level that I have over here.